10 Easy and Effective Classroom Strategies to Engage Reluctant Writers. What is a reluctant writer? It is a student who, for whatever reason, is hesitant to write. Every year we've all had at least one student, if not more, who disliked or had trouble writing. Read on for some strategies to get your even most reluctant writer writing. Reluctant writer strategy number 1, let them talk. In my experience, reluctant writers aren't always reluctant talkers. When giving students a writing task in your classroom, give them time to talk about it first. They can talk to a partner, to themselves, to a stuffed animal, or to you. Sometimes allowing students to hear what others are planning can help give them direction. If you have a small group of reluctant writers, call them to talk to you. You can gently nudge them in the right direction or give them some ideas for writing topics and let them choose. Sometimes it's just getting started that they have trouble with. Reluctant writer strategy number 2, tech. One thing that I used effectively with my reluctant writers was a speech-to-text extension. Google Docs has a speech-to-text feature. It does take a little practice, but once a student masters it, it is a very useful way for students to get their thoughts on paper. You can find the technical details if you want to try it with your reluctant writer on my blog. If you want students to practice their handwriting and build up their small muscles, you can have them copy part or all of what they wrote in their Google Doc using the text-to-speech feature, or print it out and have them do illustrations for their writing. Number 3, pictures. Kids love looking at silly pictures. That's half of what's on the internet right now. Capitalize on this and use images to help spark writing ideas. Google silly pictures for kids or silly pictures for kids writing prompts, and you will find a ton of pictures, some free, some paid, that you can use with your students to spark ideas. You could also try these super fun pick-a prompts if you want to check them out on my blog. Reluctant writer strategy number 4, choices. Sometimes students need to change something to enable them to write. Everyone loves choices. Give your students a few. Here are some ways that you can help a reluctant writer to write. Change the writing paper. Let students choose what they want to write on, plain or with lines, with primary lines. Offer choices in your writing paper. You could even try offering graph paper or colored paper. Let them choose a writing spot. Let students choose where they want to sit in your classroom. Maybe they write best under their desk, beside a friend, or at their desk with noise-canceling headphones. Writing implements. Most students write using pencils. You could let them choose what they want to write with. Maybe colored pencils, pens, or markers could be some incentive for students to do more writing. Have special magic pencils that students can only use during writing time. Topic. Maybe students need a choice of topic. You always write better what you know, so letting students choose their own topics can be empowering. Giving students choices and teaching them how to make good choices can help even a reluctant writer become more excited about writing. Number 5, spelling support. Some reluctant writers have to spell things correctly. One idea is to ask the class if they know of any words that they will want to use in their writing today and they don't know how to spell. Make a list on the whiteboard or another place where students can see it. Read the list, then send everyone on their way to write. You could do this with individual students as well. If a student needs help with a word, have them write their best guess on how to spell it on a sticky note. Then they can put it on the corner of their desk or a designated spot. When you have time, write the correct spelling on the sticky note and return it to the student. Have a spelling dictionary for each student. We used our spelling dictionaries all the time. Teaching your students how to effectively use their spelling dictionaries at the beginning of the school year and then referring to them often is a great way for students to write more independently. If a student asks you to spell a word, spell it directly in their spelling dictionary. These spelling dictionaries often went on to the next grade with the students as they were so helpful to the students in their writing. Reluctant writer strategy number 6, graphic organizers. Sometimes your students are reluctant writers because they don't know how to get started. Using a graphic organizer is a low-stakes way to get some thoughts down on paper and get organized. Graphic organizers help your students visualize their ideas and see connections between their ideas. Graphic organizers are perfect when expecting a specific type of writing, like procedural or how-to writing or opinion writing. Model for your students exactly how to fill it out and leave your example up so students can see it. Graphic organizers are perfect for small group writing groups as well. Number 7, student showcase. Showcase your students' writing in your classroom with a special writer's display or showcase spot. We had a bulletin board strip above our lockers when I was still in the classroom. We would hang our writing, fun projects, etc. to show off our fun stuff to the rest of the school. Students were very excited to display their work. Another idea for a showcase spot is to hang, glue, double-sided tape, a clipboard on a bulletin board for each student in your class. Then, when they have some great writing to display, you can clip it on their clipboard to show off. Reluctant writers like to show off their work as well. Author's Chair is also a fun way to share writing. At the end of our writing time every day, some students had the opportunity to share their writing. I would choose sticks with students' numbers on them. Students could choose to share or not. If they didn't share, I collected their writing for their day to check in and see how their writing was going. It was a good way for me to keep up with what and how students were doing with their writing assignments. Model, model, model. Show them what you want them to do. Show your students how you would work on the writing assignment. A wise teacher once told me to write about things with my students that they couldn't yet do or relate to, like driving. I would always write about doing laundry. That way the students couldn't just copy what I had written. Using a whiteboard or a document camera, show your students how to choose a topic to write about, how you fill in the graphic organizer or do some pre-writing, and what you think as you draw your image to accompany your writing. Show them how to do what you ask, then leave yours up for them to refer to. Reluctant Writer Strategy number 9, Writing Conferences. One of my favorite strategies for assisting reluctant writers was individual writing conferences or small group conferences. I could tailor that time to work specifically with those reluctant writers. I always started with them to hopefully get some traction in their writing. I could give those students individual goals for their writing time and keep track of their progress. One year I had a student who was a super reluctant writer. He needed someone to sit with him in order to get any writing done. He sat beside me on the floor with his writing stuff and noise-canceling headphones. I did all of my writing conferences in small groups at the table. That way, I was right there to help encourage him. Number 10, writing games, sticker stories. Make it fun. Play some writing games with your reluctant writers. You can find such games as writing prompt cookie catchers, pass the story, a mystery bag, word banks, sticker stories, spin or roll stories, all more information on my blog. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you saw, like and subscribe.